Alright guys, long overdue, been wanting to get this done. Finally, we're going to be doing another unboxing today. I'm pretty sure given all the elements here on the table, you can kind of gather a guess. But this one's kind of really special because it is the end of a trilogy, so to speak. Today, we're going to be unboxing this guy. This guy right here. We actually got a little bit more involved too. But as you can see, we have, I'll show you all that in a second actually. Here's the coup de grace, the main deal. Turok 3, Shadows of Oblivion. The collector's edition or complete edition by Limited Run Games. You guys know the drill. I did the unboxings previously of Turok 1 and 2. And finally got this one. I've actually had it for a little while, but I've been meaning to try to get around to getting it done. But we are here. Today is the day. So, before we kind of get into it, I just have to gush. For those of you who have been part of the channel for a long time, especially those who know me very well, even personally to a degree, if not even more so, I can't shut up about Turok.
He's black and Asian.
Okay.
That's all there is.
Okay.
He's Blasian.
He's Blasian, okay.
Bro, look, dude, either that or he's fucking Turok.
He might be Turok.
Bro, I am so down for the Turok stage. You know what I'm saying? Turok stage. Turok race. Where's Turok racing?
Oh, Turok. That's right.
Yeah.
Look, kid, I like you. You keep your nose clean and you bring in the
It looks nothing like Turok.
Bro, it straight up looks like Turok Evolution tile set in the pre-rendered cutscenes. I'm here, screen, there, magic editing. If I'm wrong, I'll put I'm wrong.
We got Joshua Fireseed, Joseph. We got Danielle. The Primogen, the Campaigner, the Flesh Eaters. Yeah, look, this is Turok. First publicly available game ever would be this guy right here. Turok Grage Wars. Do you think Turok would just roundhouse kick the f out of Yoshi, dude? Turok?
Everything is Turok, bro.
I'm always talking about Turok. I'm always making mention of Turok, this and that of Turok. Turok here, Turok there. I'm always talking about Turok. It is not a surprise, right? It shouldn't catch you off guard that I'm a huge Turok fanboy. I absolutely love Turok. I started playing it back on the 64 back in the day when it first came out. I couldn't have been more than, 9 or 10 years old, right? And ever since then, I've loved Turok. I've amassed quite a little respectable Turok collection, as you can see. And again, this isn't really to just, demonstrate all of it, but it's really to just, I wanted to emphasize how enthusiastic I am when it comes to Turok, and by extension, this Turok unboxing. So, with all that said, finally enough with the jibber jabber. Let's go ahead and get into it. So, kind of cutting into this guy, right? Typically, and I'll put a picture up here on screen, y'all. But there is, I usually have like my Turok shrine. I got a GameStop display case type deal. I got it some years back. And I made that like my main thing for where I would have all my Turok stuff on display. Especially since I got the Turok Grage Wars cart. That's probably like one of my favorite items. One of the rarest games I own. But for a lot of reasons. Not just that it's a rare game, but it kind of hits close to home, right? I guess also too, just to make mention in an official Derik64 capacity for, something that's related. Like I mentioned, I do have the CE for Turok Dinosaur Hunter and Turok 2, The Seeds of Evil. But I was actually also gifted this by one of my subscribers that's been part of the channel for a long time. He goes by Retro Kraken. That's what it says on his birth certificate, so don't think of it twice, right? But he actually sent me a complete in-box copy of Turok 2, Seeds of Evil, because this is my favorite first-person shooter game, like, of all time to this day. So shout outs to him. Beautiful pseudo-human slash Cthulhu Kraken type beast. Much love to him. So, but yeah, I guess to go into it, right off the bat, we got the box, right? Took off the plastic, cellophane, what have you. And I've made mention of this before, is especially with the Turok 2 and even the Turok 1, the print and the letters are embossed. That is something that I always appreciated. I do remember, I don't have it, but I do remember that Rage Wars had the letters embossed. I remember that they had the text on the box rays. As a matter of fact, just to go ahead and draw the comparison, since we actually have an authentic original copy here. I know I've checked this, but I'm going to do it again. To confirm all suspicions, again, this is an original copy, and this also has the text embossed. It is raised, so you actually feel the texture, as well as like the skin, right? Like the dino scale skin. So yeah, that is definitely not something new, so to speak, that's been introduced by Limited Run and Nightdive, but it's really more of just harkening back to the original releases of these games, where they actually would have that attention to detail on the boxes when you would get them. So kind of getting into this, right? I'll spare you the details on the cover, but it's been a while since I actually ordered this, and then a little bit more too when I received it. So I actually forget what this comes with, specifically. It's always a challenge to open these without leaving a bend, but that was successful. Okay, couple things here, couple things there. Ooh. All right, you guys. So just to go ahead and highlight it, we got the box. I love these things. It's gonna go on the Turok shrine. I'm just gonna go ahead and jump out right off the bat. We got this beautiful crimson blood red decorative cart replica, right? Again, these are very much in line with the ones that came previously. These were kind of like the coolest things. This one actually comes with like a little label on the back, like a little sticker back here, right? But yeah, you have the Turok 1, Turok 2, give me a second. Alright, so we have the Turok 1, the Turok 2, and finally the Turok 3 decorative carts. So this is definitely really dope. And it's a very striking red. It's a beautiful crimson candy apple red. Like if I was going to get me a classic car and I had to go with red, this would be the color scheme. Even it has even kind of like a brush type finish that really just accentuates it, right? But it looks dope. It is straight fire, man. It looks freaking awesome. So I made mention about this before in past streams and maybe even on the original unboxings. But I actually, as you can see, I got an extra cart here. I got an extra cart. I wanted to maybe do like a mod where I would get like one of the original PCB boards, put it in and try to make it a functioning cart, but I never got around to it, for A, B, and C. But before kind of continuing, I would like to make mention, which is a little bit of a surprise, all things considered, maybe a little bit of something of a shortcoming. This wasn't the original bag that came to kind of like serve as a protective layer for the cartridge. This is, right? I got this one as like an aftermarket. The Turok 1 and Turok 2 decorative cartridges, they came in like a bag. This one just kind of came like that. It does have a little bit more of a finish that I can tell that makes it not so susceptible to oxidization since these are metal, right? So maybe that's why they didn't put a bag on it. But something worth noting that the Turok 1 and 2 decorative carts came with a bag and this one didn't. So, but anyhow. So another thing here, which is very much on theme with Limited Run and quite a lot of collector's editions of, relative capacities, right? We got the Turok 3 soundtrack. Now, I guess this is a good opportunity to say that I've always been very, very I've been a big fan of Turok 1 and Turok 2, Turok in general, right? But Turok 3 really kind of took a detour, or like it took a different route with how the formula of the games worked, and it was a little bit of a jarring change that had a hand in me not really trying to invest a lot of time in Turok 3 the way that I did with Turok 1 and 2, as well as Rage Wars. So with that said, despite its actual graphical fidelity and how well put together the game was, it's very narrative driven, very narrative focused. You know, it wants to concentrate a lot more on storytelling in contrast to the previous games. That said, I'm not super familiar with the soundtrack in general. I've mentioned before that I'm always kind of, you know, humming and whistling the tunes of Turok soundtracks, you know, from the previous games. I'm not too familiar with, you know, the soundtrack of Turok 3 for that, you know, with all that said. So. But all the same, always cool. I do have the other two soundtracks I haven't put up. I did do a reorganization of the entire game room, so I do have them kind of put away in the closet on a shelf. And I am not going in there to take them out, but I'm sure you can gather it's virtually the same kind of deal. So, of course, we have our Turok 3 poster. I always said I was going to get the other one framed. I never got around to getting it framed, and I still have those posters put up somewhere in there that I want to get framed. This is pretty dope, though. Regardless of how I feel about the game or what have you, these posters are cool. I mean, just the aesthetic of Turok 3 is cool. It's identifiable. It's for surely identifiable. Gives you a little bit of a Neversoft vibe in a way, and it always kind of made me feel, it always kind of gave me a little bit of a generic type of impression, but it's not, right, if I give it enough time to kind of, you know, commit to my eyes. But yeah, definitely a lot smaller than the other ones, for sure. Definitely a lot smaller than the other posters, for better or for worse. With the real estate in the game room at a premium, I definitely am not opposed to getting a little bit of a smaller poster if it's something I plan on putting up. So, but we will. Oh, and it wasn't a nightmare to fold back up either. And of course, you guys, the coup de grace. Now, we have Turok 1 and 2 right here. Now, Best Buy did have some limited run variants. Best Buy was doing their own limited run variants for a while. They haven't done it for quite a bit at this point, which I think is really a shame. Video Game Plus did kind of pick up the slack, which is cool. But I do... So my point is that Turok 1 and 2 also have embossed print and texture on the cases with their artwork, similar to the boxes, right? That said, again, I feel like it's getting the least amount of love. Not to say that it you know, not to say any type of thing, but it's something I'm noticing, right? Turok 3 doesn't have that same type of attention to detail that these other ones have. So it could also be a factor why it took as long as it did to actually, you know, make one of these, but whatever. So let's go ahead and open this guy up. Okay, so we have the game. I'm gonna say right off the bat, without even like opening it, this feels lighter. Feels lighter. Here's your manual, and this manual is extremely thin. We got some of the controls here. We have Diana, we have Joseph, we have Joseph and Diana character screens, right? We have Turok, or well, Turok is a title, right? We got Adon, we have Joshua. Adon is 6'6" and 130? That doesn't seem right. And that's it. It's a very lean, manual in comparison to what was offered previously. It's definitely more. Here, maybe you can hear that. I don't know if you could tell just based on the acoustics, but you can tell that this has more weight to it. This has 6 pages, including the front and back. And this, I could tell you right away that this has more than 6 pages, right? So the Turok 2 booklet manual that came with it, I mean, it has a lot of information about all the, I mean, it has nothing, no descriptions or anything like the third game has, but you have Turok, you have Adon, you have all the pictures of all the enemies that you come across in the game, right? You have some artwork, some drafts, just really unique stuff that is, well, I mean, it's awesome. It's awesome to have this type of stuff. In comparison, the Turok 3 booklet is, it's very, very lean. There's a Universal logo here. I don't know anything about that. The only thing I know is that the 2008 Turok game was published. I don't know if it was developed, but it was published by Touchstone. So, Universal, Touchstone, I don't know. Turok always seems to be changing hands for better or for worse, which is a shame. But that is it for pretty much the unboxing. Let's go ahead and do kind of a roll call here. Okay, so the final thing. Now, I'm not dunking on this copy of Turok 3. I think the decorative part is, to be perfectly honest, you know, I think it looks the best of the 3. I like that they're different. So, you know, they're you know, singular. They're not kind of just rhyming, so to speak. I like the red one the most. I think it looks the coolest, to be perfectly honest. I'm still glad to have a physical copy of this, because I do have the Turok 3 physical copy, and to be able to play the updated version, this game was very, very ambitious on the Nintendo 64. But what that came with had a lot of graphical, or not graphical, but just functional shortcomings that was held back by the technology. This game came out in 2000. It was already in the twilight years of the Nintendo 64. And, you know, a lot of the ambition was held back by what the hardware can do, which is a shame. But to actually be able to have an opportunity to see that full circle now with this version, because I've held off playing this in any capacity because I've been wanting to play this exact copy, it's nice to finally be able to have that capability, right? And I also did take the initiative to get the Turok collection, well, sleeve deal, whatever you would call this, right? So now that I have all 3 of the games, little snug, but there you have it. Turok 1, 2, and 3. That's pretty much it, you guys. Pretty quick and easy unboxing. It's been a long time coming, and I'm glad I finally got around to being able to put this together, and definitely be playing some more Turok. Let me some Turok. Full disclosure, I've never actually beaten Turok 3. For a lot of reasons that I can get into, but you know, where it stands now, Turok 3 is definitely a game that is to be marked off the list soon. But that should go ahead and do it for this unboxing, everybody. Thank you so much for checking it out. I do have other unboxings. Like I said, I did have a little bit longer of an unboxing of Turok 1 and 2 in the same video, since I got them both at the same time. It really felt like kind of marking for that ceremony, so to speak. And I have just other unboxings in general. If you guys want to check them out, they're going to be there on the screen in the description. And then I also got reviews and all that good stuff. So if that's kind of in your wheelhouse, hey, check them out. But with that said, everybody, thank you so much for checking out the unboxing. Really appreciate it, and hopefully we'll see you on the next one. Take care. Peace.